Kind of Two Bold Bakers, with St. Patrick's Day fast approaching, I thought I would share with you a treat that is really popular in Ireland called Millionaire squares or caramel shortbread squares. I have really fond memories of these growing up in Ireland. They're a layer of shortbread, layer of caramel, and a layer of milk chocolate. They're really delicious. Also, I want you to stay tuned to the very end of this video because I've got loads more authentic Irish videos to share with you, so you're not going to want to miss those. So of course, the main ingredient in our shortbread is butter, Irish butter. There's a saying in Ireland, what butter and whiskey won't cure, there is no cure for, and I'm a firm believer in that. You want your butter to be nice and room temperature because we're going to have to whip it up. So add that into your bowl. And then next we're going to add in a little bit of sugar. And now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cream these two ingredients together using an electric hand mixer. You can also do this by hand with a hand whisk and some elbow grease. Make sure your butter is at room temperature. It's really important. So just cream these two ingredients together until they get kind of a light color and they're kind of fluffy. Just takes a few minutes on high speed. And there you go. So this is what we're going for. Now into this, we are going to add in some flour. Shortbread is really simple to make. It's only a few ingredients and it's really delicious. And then a little bit of salt. And then we're going to go back in with our mixer and then just mix this up until your dough starts to come together. Doesn't take long at all. Okie dokie, that is it. Our shortbread's kind of clumping together. Now we're going to get it into our prepared pan. So here I have my 9x9 bigger bolder baking pan. You can also use an 8x8, that works really well too. And then what we're going to do is just add our shortbread into the base. As you can see, this is a lot of shortbread, but I am 10 months pregnant and I want a big caramel square, and that's what I'm going to make. With my hands, you can also do this with a spatula, but I think I prefer doing it with my hand because I can tell the thickness, is just pat the shortbread into the base. Make it nice and compact and as level as you can. There we go, gorgeous. Gosh, it smells so buttery. Irish people do love their butter, that is true. Okay, gorgeous. So this guy is ready for the oven. You want to bake him off at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for roughly 30 minutes until it gets a light golden brown. So here's our shortbread layer, fresh from the oven. It smells really good. So as you can see, it's a light golden brown. This is exactly what we're going for. Now what you want to do is set this aside, let it cool down while we make our caramel filling. So let's talk caramel. Now first off, I don't want you to freak out. This is the simplest caramel to make. It just requires two ingredients, some condensed milk and a little bit of butter. That is it. Then all we need is a lot of time, patience, and then we're going to have this lovely caramel to go on top of our shortbread. So I'm going to just open up my tins of condensed milk and pour them into my heavy bottom saucepan. So now you might be wondering, can you use my homemade condensed milk for this recipe? And you can, however, I prefer to use tinned just to give you a consistent end result. There we go. And then we add in our little bit of butter, Okay, so now here's a really important part. Turn the heat on to a medium-low heat. And then with a whisk, I use a whisk, not a spatula. I find this is much better. It kind of keeps it all together. Stir this mixture every few seconds, because what can happen is if you leave it there just to simmer away, it'll scorch on the bottom of the pan and you'll get brown bits in your caramel, and you don't want that. So this is a low and slow process. It's going to take around 15 to 20 minutes, but trust me, it is well worth it. Stay close by, give it a stir, keep an eye on it, don't let it get too brown. And then eventually you'll see it turn this lovely amber kind of a golden color, and that's when we're going to take it off. It'll also thicken a lot. So stay with me, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know. So we're around 3/4 of the way there with our caramel. I just wanted to show you how important it is to keep on stirring. You notice that it does get considerably thicker, and it's this lovely kind of a golden amber color. This is what we're going for. Just in case you do get any of those brown bits which are kind of scorched from the pan, don't worry about it, they won't taste bad or anything. And once the caramel is done, you won't even be able to see them. I think I might have gotten a few in there. So it's been around 20 minutes or so. At any point, if you want to turn down the heat and make it go even lower, that's totally fine. But what I want you to get is this look, this amber, this golden kind of a brown, kind of caramel color, and also this thickness. When you get that, turn off the heat, you are done. So very carefully go ahead and pour all your caramel on top of your shortbread. Look at that. And then with a spatula, spread it out as evenly as you can, all the way into the corners. So you can see already, like it's cooling down a little bit, it's already starting to set up. So just imagine when this goes completely cool, it'll be like the perfect texture. I remember when my mom used to make these when we were kids. This is no joke. She used to close all the doors. Nobody was allowed in the kitchen. Nobody was allowed to open the door of the kitchen when she was making caramel. So when we were young, we thought caramel making was like really hard and you had to be an adult to do it. And like nobody was allowed in there. But thinking back on it now, it was pretty funny. But I remember because she would make these every so often, but it was a big, big deal. When she was making the caramel, no kids were allowed in the kitchen. There we go, that's looking good. What I like to do just to get it kind of nice and even is give it some taps on the counter. And this just helps it settle a little bit and kind of find its place. Gorgeous. 2 layers done, we only have 1 left to go. What I like to do now is leave this out at room temperature for around 2 to 3 hours or so, let it cool down, and then we can get our chocolate on there. So I've given it some time and my caramel has cooled down. So now I'm going to get my chocolate layer ready. Now here I have some milk chocolate. I like to use milk chocolate for this recipe because it's, number one, it's what I grew up on. It was always milk chocolate, but it's a little bit sweet and it's not as bitter. So for kids, it's a little bit more kid friendly. This is around, say, 55% cocoa solids. You do not want to melt like Cadbury's bars of chocolate. Just make sure it's a cooking chocolate that's milk. What I'm going to do is pop this into the microwave and let it melt gently for around a minute or so. So my chocolate is melted, so just go ahead and pour it all over your caramel. So I did say that they are called Millionaire squares most commonly in America, and that's because of all the decadent, rich layers of the shortbread, the caramel, and the chocolate, that you almost feel like a millionaire when you eat them, which I think is a pretty good name. In Ireland, we call them caramel squares, same in England, same in Australia. Okay, lovely. Now what I like to do is just give this a bit of a tap on the counter, give it a bit of a shake, and let all that chocolate just kind of even out and kind of find its home, and then you'll end up with a nice even layer of chocolate. Lovely. Now here's what we got to do. We are almost there. We just want to set this aside, let it cool down, let the chocolate completely set, and then we can cut them. So it's been a few hours, my chocolate is set. Check out these bad boys. This must weigh like 5 pounds. Oh my gosh. Oh, it smells amazing. Oh, yum. Butter, caramel, yummy, yummy, yumminess. Let me just pull down the paper so you can see exactly what all the layers look like. Oh my gosh, that is definitely a millionaire square. So these guys are good to go. All we have left to do is just cut them. So you might want to use a nice warm knife just to get through that chocolate and not to snap it. But just cut your squares as big or as small or as big as you would like. My baby loves caramel squares, so I'm gonna make big ones. So check that out. Shortbread, caramel, chocolate, beautiful 3 layers, all ready to be eaten. It's just how I remember them. So we have this lovely shortbread on the bottom, it's really buttery. And then the caramel in the middle is almost like a mix of a caramel and a fudge. It's got such a nice bite to it. And then of course a layer of chocolate on top. I mean, who's gonna argue with you about that? Without a doubt, absolute heaven in a square. Gorev Mahagwiv, I hope you enjoyed this little taste of Ireland. Don't go anywhere because I've got loads more Irish videos for you to watch. Also one that is in my native language, Os Gaeilge, so definitely check them out. I'll see you back here really soon for more bigger, bolder baking.